so many people these days, and possibly throughout all of human history, speak with these words that they're airy fairy, they're mushy, they could really mean anything. When people say dimension nowadays, I mean, do you really know what they mean when they say that? I noticed, I've noticed a lot of people, they act like they understand something, they act like they understand a topic, a concept, when there's really nothing of substance there. What I'm talking about today has very real substance. This is a physical phenomenon. This is not magic. This is not even, it's debatably related to spirituality, but you can decide that for yourself. I'm talking about the fifth dimension and what it actually is and how it actually exists. What I'm about to say, academics, some scientists, people that are paid to look smart and spread their ascribed talking points, they will all deny this. However, the engineers at IBM, Google, Rigetti, D-Wave Quantum, the people who actually build these quantum machines, they already know this. They all know it. So what is the fourth dimension? Well, the fourth dimension is time. It's a sequence of events. You know the start, there's physics involved, you calculate the physics, you know the end. As you may have heard, that's not how our universe works. You can't look at one frame of the universe and then calculate what the next frame is going to be. On the small scales, that's quantum mechanics. You can't take a picture of a quantum system and based on what you see, predict what's going to happen next, like a four-dimensional system would. And that's because a quantum system is evolving in multiple timelines at once. And we experience one field of these probabilistic timelines at once. We are not living in one timeline. We are living in a field of moments. We are living in a field of presence. We are not living in one present. We are living in an infinitely fine, infinitely branching array of present moments that have a probabilistic way of branching to the next moment. It's not we have a point A in time, which goes to point B in time, which goes to point C in time. The universe is evolving down an infinite, explosive amount of timelines. What you're seeing right now is a simulation of a quantum system. I don't know which one. I picked a random one. They all sort of look the same. So what you're seeing is a field of particles. So you're seeing one particle disperse itself in infinitely many ways, and that's what's actually happening. See, scientists will say that these are the probabilities of where that particle is going to go. This is where it might possibly be. No, the particle actually did go. There was only one particle. There was only one. And it traveled in one direction. And it used our conventional classical physics. But it did this an infinite amount of times. And if you look at the simulation, it interacts with itself. So not only is it traveling down multiple timelines, doing everything it could have possibly done with different speeds, different velocities, but actually the coagulation, the combination of all of these different speeds, all of these different velocities that the particle could have had, they are actually present in a singular universe, which is our own, and they all interact with each other. Let's back up for a second and come back to the lie of our four-dimensional world and how our four-dimensional computers work. A classical computer, the electron moves down the wires and it goes from point A to point B to point Z to point C, and it's programmed in a linear way. And so we process the electron as something that's moving in a linear pattern through these wires, but actually we're just limiting the electron by the design of the computer. Inside of the wires, the electron is still expressing its fifth dimensional nature. Everything in the universe is always expressing its inherent fifth dimensional nature. It's always moving down these infinite timelines and interacting with itself. And what a quantum computer does is it just utilizes the natural aspects of the universe, which were already there, which were already fifth dimensional, in order to make a calculating device which is infinitely more powerful than our illusion of classical computers. Once again, scientists will deny this, academics will deny this, but engineers, this is the principle that they work on. Now let me tell you a fun fact, and you can do what you want with this information. How is it possible that your brain is far, far less energy intensive than your desktop computer, yet it's your brain? It's the most powerful intelligence in the world. And it's operating an amount of calculations which would take more than several data centers to do. Well, because it's using infinitely less electrons than a classical computer would have to use, because it's a quantum computer. The webbed neuronal structure of your brain is a quantum environment that this electrons can scatter in, can interact with itself in so many ways. You can have coherent thoughts, incoherent thoughts, all happening at once, and this is all held in your consciousness. Your consciousness right now is accessing the fifth dimension, and that is how your brain is able to store so much information, and you are able to do so much at once with so little energy usage.